A very good afternoon, dear students. Welcome back to the class. Let's move on to part 5 of carbohydrate metabolism today. So, till now, 4 parts under carbohydrate metabolism were being discussed. The contents of previous classes are glycolysis pathway, TCA cycle, HMP shunt, and glycogen storage diseases along with glycogen metabolism pathways. And today we are going to discuss about the important pathway under carbohydrate metabolism, that is gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis. So let's discuss on this title. So what are the contents we are going to discuss under gluconeogenesis? Pathway of gluconeogenesis and its significance. What is gluconeogenesis? A pathway. It is a pathway used by the body to create glucose from other molecules. Here other molecules represents non-carbohydrate sources. From non-carbohydrate sources, glucose is synthesized through gluconeogenesis. And it is an important pathway that allows the body to store needed energy for the brain, mainly for the brain, in the form of glucose. Then it is essentially glycolysis, which is the process of converting glucose into energy in reverse. So by means of gluconeogenesis, glucose is synthesized and this glucose is oxidized to give energy by glycolysis and TCA cycle, so on, to get complete energy from glucose to the body. And mainly to the brain, the energy is received by the formation of glucose through gluconeogenesis, and it is a reversal pathway of glycolysis. Gluconeogenesis is reversal pathway of glycolysis. Okay, gluconeogenesis is reversal pathway, that is forwarded reactions occur in glycolysis where backward reaction occurs in gluconeogenesis. So starting material in glycolysis is glucose, where end product is pyruvate. Here pyruvate is end product and pyruvate is starting material and glucose is the end product in gluconeogenesis. That is the difference. Coming to gluconeogenesis pathway, it has 3 bypass steps out of glycolysis. So what are the 3 bypass steps or bypass reactions involved in gluconeogenesis to become as a reversal pathway of glycolysis? Gluconeogenesis is reversal pathway of glycolysis. So it has 3 important steps, bypass reactions to follow backward reactions of glycolysis. So what are the 3 steps? First one is conversion of pyruvate to phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate is another important energy rich compound. Second step is conversion of fructose 1,6 biphosphate to fructose 6-phosphate. Third is conversion of glucose 6-phosphate to glucose. So only difference in gluconeogenesis is these 3 steps when comparing to glycolysis. All other steps are similar to glycolysis, but the reactions are backward reactions. Let's see what is the pathway of gluconeogenesis. It occurs both in mitochondria and cytosol. The cell parts involved in gluconeogenesis are both cytosol and mitochondria, where the pyruvate is converted to glucose. It is the primary pathway of gluconeogenesis, where you can see pyruvate is converted to oxaloacetate, then to phosphoenol pyruvate, then 2-phosphoglycerate, 3-phosphoglycerate, 1,3-biphosphoglycerate, 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone phosphate, fructose 1,6 biphosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, glucose 6-phosphate and glucose. Here only 3 steps are different from glycolysis pathway, where others are similar to glycolysis pathway. Just go through glycolysis pathway before going through this gluconeogenesis pathway. And observe the ATP utilization and ATP generation, whatever. Here ATP will be utilized since it is synthetic pathway of glucose. It is not oxidation pathway. So it will be ATP, whatever released in glycolysis, will be utilized by gluconeogenesis to give glucose. Okay, so it is coming under synthetic pathway, anabolic pathway. So from non-carbohydrate source we are getting carbohydrates. And this flowchart represents glycolysis versus gluconeogenesis. Glycolysis is forward reaction of glucose to pyruvate, where gluconeogenesis is backward reaction of pyruvate to glucose. And this occurs in both cytosol and mitochondria, where pyruvate is converted to phosphoenol pyruvate through in mitochondria only. After then phosphoenol pyruvate is transported to cytosol for carrying out backward reactions of glycolysis. Let's move on to the steps involved in gluconeogenesis with chemical reactions. The first step involved in gluconeogenesis is, first bypass step involved in gluconeogenesis is conversion of pyruvate to phosphoenol pyruvate. And this step occurs both in mitochondria and cytosol to carry out reversal pathway of glycolysis. So pyruvate that is present in mitochondria is converted to oxaloacetate and malate, and this malate is transported from mitochondria to cytosol, and then again it is converted to oxaloacetate in cytosol, and then it is converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. Then this phosphoenol pyruvate is converted, or it follows reversal pathway of glycolysis until to reach the bypass step of 2. The step 2 involves conversion of fructose 1,6 biphosphate to fructose 6 phosphate. Fructose 1,6 biphosphate to fructose 6 phosphate. Observe the reaction, how it is formed. And then third step is conversion of glucose 6 phosphate to glucose. Finally, the end product of gluconeogenesis is carbohydrate source, that is glucose. What is the starting material? Pyruvate. Pyruvate is not carbohydrate, it is a non-carbohydrate source. So from non-carbohydrate source, the only pathway synthesize carbohydrates is gluconeogenesis. Let's see what are the other precursors for gluconeogenesis. Lactate, intermediates of TCA cycle, some glucogenic amino acids. Lactate, intermediates of TCA cycle and glucogenic amino acids. Apart from pyruvate, these are the precursors for glucose synthesis through gluconeogenesis. And the first process is conversion of lactate. It follows Core's cycle. Lactate in anaerobic condition produced in cytosol is converted back to pyruvate. Then the pyruvate is transported to mitochondria to produce phosphoenol pyruvate, as we have discussed in the first bypass step. Lactate is, once it is converted to pyruvate, then it follows the steps of pyruvate to synthesize glucose. So this cycle is called Core's cycle. And the second step involves conversion of intermediates of TCA cycle and amino acids into glucose. TCA cycle intermediates are citrate, alpha ketoglutarate, oxaloacetate. Alpha ketoglutarate is converted to glutamate to give glutamine. And again this glutamate forms alpha ketoglutarate, then it is converted to oxaloacetate, and this oxaloacetate to phosphoenol pyruvate to synthesize glucose through gluconeogenesis pathway. What are the significances of gluconeogenesis? Gluconeogenesis pathway ensures the maintenance of appropriate blood glucose levels when the liver glycogen is almost depleted and no carbohydrates are ingested. Glucose is a universal building molecule and provides energy to all cells, mainly brain cell and nervous tissue, as well as erythrocytes, testes, renal medulla require glucose as sole source of energy. Glycogen stored in adipose tissue and in skeletal muscle are converted to glucose by glycogenolysis. However, the stored glycogen may not be sufficient during heavy exercise, diabetic conditions, etc. So, during shortage of glucose is synthesized from carbohydrate or non-carbohydrate precursor by the process called gluconeogenesis. So these are the main significances of gluconeogenesis. It maintains blood glucose level. It provides energy to the important tissues, brain cell and nervous tissue. And then it is during fasting conditions, during heavy exercise, when energy is not met by carbohydrate sources, then through gluconeogenesis it is the pathway produce glucose from non-carbohydrate sources. With this we are coming to the end of today's class. In the next class we will be discussing the last part of carbohydrate metabolism. Thank you all.